Steve, when Marcus has gotten going second half each of the past 2 weeks, how much of that is just Marcus, and how much can you attribute the play of the offensive line there?
Yeah, the O-line did pretty well. They did a good job of stopping our little inside run play, and we finally started calling some different runs that got him freed up. And Marcus is, of course, an excellent runner. And at the end of the game, I didn't realize he had 172. Is that what it was? 176. I thought about 110, 20. It didn't seem like he had all that many. But he was getting yards, I guess, as we went. We just weren't finishing any drives at the time. But we don't forget about Marcus running the ball. That's what gives us a chance.
Coach, Bruce Ellington was basically neutralized by the kicking game at Georgia last weekend. I don't think he got a return 2, and 1 was on a short kickoff due to a penalty. And he got 1 snap at the Wildcat. Do you hope you utilize him more going forward?
Well, we hope to utilize a lot of guys going forward that we haven't. So we're trying to utilize all of our guys more. And to do that, the offense needs to stay on the field longer, and our defense needs to get the other team off the field quicker. And those things have not happened real well. So anyway, and our passing game hadn't gone very far. So we're trying to utilize all of our guys more, really, put it that way. Bruce is doing fine. He almost had 1 kickoff return. 1 guy missed a block that might could have really broken one. But anyway, he's doing fine.
What is it about these games that makes it such a close competition, more so in regards to the scores? So many of them have been decided by a touchdown or less.
Well, these other teams are pretty good. They are pretty good. And they come to play, and I think Navy would play anybody tough, really. I don't know if they can play Alabama tough. Alabama, they know how to stuff these teams that are not very big, strong teams. But for some reason, Wofford always plays us or Clemson, pretty close, it seems like. There's just doesn't seem to be many blowout games with them or Furman or whoever. So anyway, we just got to go play the best we can. But we're concentrating not so much on our opponent, but ourselves right now. We've got to learn how to play this game at a higher level. And hopefully real soon, now that we're in the middle of the season. And this will be a good test for us this week.
Coach, up here. There's a new study out today, Coach, by the National College Players Association and a professor in sports management at Drexel University that talks about the fair market value of top-tier football and basketball athletes. It's over $100,000. They're making some recommendations, some of which align with what you said before about paying the full cost of scholarships. But I wanted to get your reaction to that cover the full cost of attendance, but also some things that are a little bit more controversial, like lift restrictions on all college athletes, commercial opportunities, and also allow revenue-producing athletes to receive a portion of new revenues that will be put in an educational lockbox that can be used after they graduate. What do you think about those kinds of things?
Well, I think it's all true. Of course I think it's true. 20 years ago, 50 years ago, athletes got a full scholarship. Television income was what, maybe $50,000? And now everybody's getting 14, 15 million bucks, and they're still getting a scholarship. Now their value is, it's all based on money. It's not based on anything else except what they bring into the university money-wise. And they're talking about it. I don't know that they'll do anything until maybe they have to do something. But football, basketball players bring in a lot of money. And whether or not they're entitled to $3,000 to $4,000, I think $3,000 to $4,000 a player would make them pretty happy. And all the money that comes in is the reason for it. If there wasn't any money coming in, I'd say shoot you out. Full scholarship's good for everybody. There's no, that's fine. But when an enormous amount of money comes in, they pay all the coaches and the other sports, benefit from it. And the top players, well, especially the players that are doing the performing, they're treated like everybody else. That's just, That's just my opinion. Some other people have different opinions, but anyway.
Steve, will you make any wide receiver lineup changes? Looked like you moved Jason Barnes down the rotation last week.
Yeah, he may be back in today. Yeah, D.L. Moore's hurt. D.L., his shoulder's messed up, his ankle's messed up. He's hurt, so he's out this game. And Jason Barnes and Bruce, we're trying to get them more involved this week. And Alshon and Ace will be in there. Still don't know about Demir Bird. There's a chance he may be declared eligible, or there's a chance he may not be. So we'll find out later in the week on that. But yeah, hopefully we can get all those guys involved more.
Coach, have you ever had a player like Antonio Allen, just seems to really be in the zone right now? His last 3 regular seasons had a defensive touchdown. I mean, what's that like to watch a player do that?
Yeah, Antonio's having All-American type year, no question about it. Big plays, that interception was a big play. He had some miscues here and there, but overall he's playing extremely well. He and Melvin obviously had big plays, and Stephon got the fumble, had the good bounce right to him, and made an excellent run. And you know, if one of our defensive backs had got out of his way, he would have scored on the play, but we had a defensive back running in front of him, giving the #1 sign. Anyway, hopefully he'll never do that again.
If so many teams have success with the option, why don't more schools run it?
It probably doesn't suit everybody's talent that much, and it's well, if it worked for everyone, obviously you'd think everybody would use it. Yeah. So maybe it doesn't work for everybody. I don't think it worked for us.
But I guess there's so much pressure on coaches to win. Why wouldn't you go with a proven commodity and recruit that way?
Well, you can. Paul Johnson does it at Georgia Tech. And this guy does it at Navy very well. I don't know who other teams. BS1, I mean, BCS schools. They're doing it. Air Force, Brigham Young, sort of, yeah.
Over here, Coach.
I don't have the answer to that one.
Steve, in college football generally, and in the NFL, like with Brady last night, teams, going with the no huddle. Is there anything lost in going away from the old-fashioned huddle, communication-wise, flow of the game-wise? Do you miss anything about the old-school huddle?
Yeah, everybody's trying to speed up a bit. That's a new thing. No huddle, trying to get a lot of plays out and so forth. Yeah, there's still a place every now and then for the huddle, especially if the other team knows your signals, knows your calls a little bit. Sometimes it's always amazing to me in practice that, we use the same words and so forth in practice. We don't huddle in practice. And, a lot of our defensive guys, they're not paying any attention. They don't know what play is. I'm serious. And now the secondary guys, they know our pass checks and all that. So if we audible to something, of course, most of them were on offense at one time or another, but they're smart enough to figure out all that. So anyway, defensive guys, they don't listen to the quarterback yelling much that I know of.
Coach, you were talking about the passing game improving. Is there anything fundamentally that Steven's doing right now that's caused him to be a little high on Saturday and a little off on some of his